Okay, we are making a double chocolate fudge cookie, otherwise known as Oscar Makes Good Snacks double chocolate cookies. If you're not aware, I used to have a cookie business before the pandemic, but I decided to discontinue it due to having other obligations. And with the pandemic, it was difficult booking a kitchen and sharing a kitchen with other people. So I much rather prefer sharing my recipes on my blog and doing that rather than sharing kitchens with strangers. So I do have, we're making it with dark chocolate and milk chocolate. Both are from Coco Polo. If you're not aware of them, I'll link to it in the blog or in the video. I get mine from Switch Grocery in Canada. However, in the States, I'm sure you can find other stores where you can get it. And if you can't get Coco Polo, there's other chocolate, low carb chocolate brands you can use. I like Coco Polo just because they're a good company. They have a big heart and I like supporting them. So I'm using a 3/4 cup of dark chocolate and a 1/2 cup of milk chocolate and a 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm melting all that in a double boiler right now. In the meantime, we're going to start with the dry ingredients. So we're going to use 3/4 cups of almond flour into a stand mixer, or we can use a regular bowl with a hand mixer. Make sure it's all in there. And I'm using 1/2 cup of erythritol. And again, if you want it sweeter or less sweet, you can use less. So I'm going to start mixing this, and as it's mixing, I'm going to add the cacao powder, the baking powder, the salt, and the espresso powder. I'm using the paddle because once I get the chocolate in there, it'll be much thicker and harder to mix. So I'm starting off with the paddle. I'm just going to continue to use it. And so I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to put in cacao powder. Now this is a 1/4 cup of cacao powder. I'm also using some baking powder, and this is a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Espresso powder, this is a 1/4 teaspoon, and you can find espresso powder in most grocery stores. It's the Nescafe espresso powder that I use. And just 1/8 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of salt. So I'm going to combine that, and then we'll add the wet ingredients. Okay, and now we're going to add 2 eggs, one at a time while it's mixing. 1. It's on low, medium speed. And now we're going to add the second egg. Change the speed to medium. Now we're going to add the vanilla, and this is 1 teaspoon. Go back up to medium. So lift it up, scrape the paddle. So while we're doing this, you should have the chocolate melting in the double boiler with the butter. And once it is, we're gonna add it to this. And that'll be it. It's actually quite easy recipe. There's nothing complicated about it. Okay, the chocolate is melted and we are going to pour it in here. Look at that. So you want to watch the chocolate when it's on the double boiler so it doesn't split. Don't put the temperature too high, and as soon as it's melted, take it off the heat because it could split very easily. Chocolate is very temperamental. Believe me, I've had a lot of days in the kitchen when I was making those cookies, and I had often trouble that I had to fix, and it was just frustrating to deal with, especially when you're on time constraints, when you're renting a kitchen and you need to get out of there on time. Not the easiest thing to do. So, chocolate's in there, mix it on medium for about a minute, and then we'll scoop it out. And then just do another whiz just to mix it together. And then we'll be done. See how it almost looks gummy? That's how we want it. Because it's a very fudgy cookie. And I've yet to find something similar. I don't think there is anything similar to this, but you never know. These are perfect Valentine's gifts, if anybody's looking, to make for someone. Because all the chocolate, you don't need to go to a store and buy them. You could just make these chocolate fudge cookies. Okay, just another quick whiz. That's it. Take out the paddle, scrape it off, get everything in the bowl. We're gonna use the same mixing bowl to scoop out from. And we're gonna scoop it into cookie mold. You're going to preheat your oven at 350 now. Actually, maybe you should have done it earlier. 3, 5, 0. Start. So all you're gonna do is grab an ice cream scooper or a cookie scooper, a small 1-inch size scoop. I like to press it up the side as I scoop it out and just drop it in there. That's it. And as you're doing that, once you're done, you're going to drop in a chocolate chip, one of the Coco Polo chocolate chips or whichever one you use. So I use a chocolate chip and I just put one and I poke it in there. That's it. So do that until you're done with the batter. So I do the batter first, of course. And it doesn't matter how it drops in there, you're gonna push it down with a chocolate chip anyway. Okay, I have all the cookies scooped out. Now I'm gonna put a chocolate chip in each one. I do have a silicone tray on a baking tray just so it doesn't get flimsy. It's easier to move to the oven. And I forgot to mention, work quickly after you're done mixing everything, because this dough does sort of get toughened up. So now we're just gonna drop a chocolate chip in the center of each cookie. Oh, oven's preheated. So we're gonna go 8 to 10 minutes. I would say 8 minutes. But if they don't look ready, do 10. But they don't need a lot. And don't worry when they come out, they may still look soft, but they will harden as they cool. So going in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. So here are the cookies out of the oven. I did 8 minutes. They have cooled a bit. You want to let them cool in the silicone pan. Otherwise, they will fall apart if you try and take them out too early. So let them cool and then pop them out like this. There you are. Soft and chewy, fudgy. Look at that.